Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Board Gaming Doctor. My name is Phil, and I'll be your board game doctor today. Now, if you know me, I love Uwe Rosenberg games. They are my favorite style of games, and whether they are big box games or not, I am very interested whenever new information and news comes out on a game of his, and that we do have some more information now. So recently, Click-a-Tree, which has been a game that has been logged onto Board Game Geek for almost a year now, finally, a couple of months ago, had a cover, which is seen here, but also now we know that Skellig Games is going to kickstart this game. And they've given us a preview on their page of what Click-a-Tree is going to be about. So let's go through it. This is off the cuff. I haven't looked at this page too much. I'm mostly going off of what is written and what is seen here in the images. So I'll scroll through real quick, and we will dive into this a little bit more. So that's all the information we get. So first of all, here is the box. We see that the art is done by Roman Kucharski. Skellig Games is the publisher, of course, and the whole box is here for us to see. So immediately looking at this board, we know that this game is a tile laying game. Obviously, the first game that comes to mind is going to be Applejack. And I recently dove really deep into the strategy behind Applejack after playing it a lot on Board Game Geek, or on Board Game Arena, rather. And so if you are a fan of that game as much as I am, go for that video. Go and check out that video if you can, if you want. So far, this game bears a lot of resemblance to Applejack in terms of the types of tiles that you have here. It looks like each tile features a certain tree, as well as a certain fruit or vegetable. And it looks like, so this is actually kind of giving me Arboretum vibes as well. And each tile also has different signposts as well. Some of them have scythes and A and B type of posts. And so it looks like in general you're mixing and matching these, hopefully to gain some sort of a connection between the same type of fruit, maybe even the same type of tree. There are some tiles that you get to place onto some of these boards. It looks like there is, on the boards or tiles with sides, you have an opportunity to place a tile onto it, a token for scoring perhaps. And here is a view of all of the materials that come with the game. We got plenty of tiles, those aforementioned tokens. It looks like we have counters for every single one of these fruits and vegetables, and a track that they go on. And I mean, looking down further at this image right here, it looks like we have these requirement tiles that block progress on this track that we're making with our fruit. Notice here in the corner that there is one of these tiles here, and so it looks like this game is centered around not only matching up these tiles and trees, but also creating patterns, which I believe here, which are called fruit bars, we, for example, connect 3 harvest tiles together. I guess the ones with scythes on them, or sickles, whatever these are, once you do so, then you can remove that bar from the board and access that row for your fruit to climb and to score with. So I wonder if it doesn't have the same type of economy, it looks like, as Applejack has with the hives and the economy, which equals the points at the end of the game. You're spending honey to gain more honey, hopefully, and accrue that for points at the end of the game. It looks like you are you're probably going to be drafting these tiles. I don't see where it says whether it is a drafting game or not. I wouldn't be surprised if it was drafted in a similar way to games like Framework or Sagani, where you don't really have a set board where you're traveling along with a dice, as in Applejack or even Patchwork. I think this is going to be a little bit more open-ended and lighter in terms of how drafting works, but it it looks like the balance and the strategy of this game is centered around tile placement, conjoining different trees and fruit together and vegetables together, but also fulfilling some of these requirements here in order to progress and score as many points as you can with those fruit vegetable chains as well as tiles and trees. So in all, my impression of this is that it's going to be a lighter game, a lighter tile lane game with aspects from Applejack, specifically from Rosenberg, perhaps from other tile lane games of his, with drafting such as Sagani and Framework, but also it kind of gives me vibes from games like Arboretum with the different types of trees and the spatial planning out of where you would place these tiles. Cascadia is another game as well that features two different icons or different features that you're trying to play strategically down onto your tableau as you build it out with the tiles in the form of the landscapes or the corridors that you're trying to lay down, as well as placing animal tokens on the board. This game looks kind of similar to that, where the quote-unquote animals and corridors are now replaced by fruit and trees in this fashion, and you're building that out onto your own tableau. It looks like this is a very free-formed tableau building. So once again, very similar to games like Sagani and Framework, where you're not playing onto a contained tableau such as Applejack or Calico in that regard. So yeah, so that looks interesting. I do wonder, since it looks like we have enough boards and tokens for 4 players, so this game will play up to 4. I think we already knew that. And it kind of looks like these tiles are set up randomly onto your board. They probably are all the same. It would be interesting if they were all different and everyone received a different conglomeration of requirements to fulfill with these tiles. Or perhaps we, like as a starter game, we all have them in the same order and we're trying to progress equally throughout the different tasks that we need to finish in order to progress along this track for points, or if everyone has an asymmetric type of experience that they're trying to check off with these tasks. That would be interesting as well. Perhaps if that's not an official rule, that could be an interesting variant to try. So those details will be parsed out once this game perhaps comes officially out to Kickstarter. It looks like it's launching soon. Or when we do get a full rulebook, whenever that comes about, I would anticipate that being released when the game is officially on Kickstarter for players to purchase, for gamers to purchase. I apologize, this is very much a spur of the moment thing. I don't think that there is a Board Game Geek link to there is to the game itself, the game page, but not necessarily to any rulebook. So I do apologize if that is out and I'm speculating on something that I shouldn't. But I thought this would be fun for those who enjoy Rosenberg games as much as I do, and learning more about the somewhat spoilers that are given for this game, Click-a-Tree. I would love to know what this means. What does Click-a-Tree mean, if that has any sort of meaning? Or is there a translation that makes it in English kind of sound different? And I always thought this was going to be a placeholder type of name, but it looks like this is what they're going for, at least in the English version of this game. So some background into the title of this game will be very interesting, but I'm looking forward to learning more about Click-a-Tree. So thank you for joining me on this speculation journey, and I hope that you have a great day. Thank you for listening, and hope that you schedule an appointment with me real soon. Take care.